Hello everybody and welcome to Performers Hub, Coffee and Comfort. This morning we have another wonderful guest. Her name is Margot Tanjutco. Please welcome Margot. Hey Margot, how are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Yeah?
We are so thrilled to have you come and chat to us.
It's really good to see you again. It's been like years.
A long
This
time.
is cool. Yeah.
And you are hot off a successful run with the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Yes.
So I know you as someone who is just so passionate about music theatre. In fact, I was your teacher, but you were teaching me about music theatre because you just knew
Everything.
I was
song.
so obsessed. I was so obsessed.
I know that one. Yes,
Yeah.
I know that. So tell us a little bit about your path into now comedy and solo shows.
Yeah. Well, I did 2 years full-time music theater, and then at the end of it, I was like, oh, I'm actually not sure if this is the path that will make me the happiest, because I felt this tug to write and create my own stuff.
Yeah.
And so at the end of those 2 years, I was like, okay, I need to take some time to think. And so I went to RMIT to do communications, just because I also really loved media stuff, and that was
Right,
also something
yeah,
that really
cool.
interested me, and I just wanted that time and that little bit of freedom that wasn't a 5 days a week plus rehearsals kind of vibe. And so I did that, and then I also did the Provocateur program at Malthouse,
fabulous.
which is where you see all the shows for free and meet other theater makers and writers and stuff. And so from that, I met a few people who then kind of introduced me to more theater making and more playwriting. And so that really introduced me to this world of you can make your own stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a thing that's possible. And it was just people who were just already doing it. And it was like nothing. It was like, oh yeah, we just do shows. It doesn't matter if it's
Put it
good. It doesn't matter
together.
if it's bad. It's just, if you want to do something, do it now. And so it was like, cool. And so I got exposed through that. And then I ended up doing Romeo's Not the Only Fruit, which was with Jean Tong and a few other people who I met through Malthouse. And so we did a season of that with Melbourne Uni, and then that went really well, and so we ended up doing a run at the Comedy Festival the year after, and then we took that to Brisbane Festival, and then we took it to Hot House Theatre just a few months ago.
Wow.
So that went off, like that got us a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Well, I've seen in the that you've been getting a lot of rave reviews for the last show that you did.
Yeah.
Was that something that you devised on your own?
Yeah, so Vanity Fair Enough it's technically a cabaret,
Right.
but I guess sometimes I try not to use that word, especially in the comedy world, because people expect like piano and like maybe like more jazzy stuff, which it wasn't. It was very like pop and rock and R&B, but like comedy songs. So it was very satirical all the time.
A one-woman show, basically.
There was 9 original songs.
Yeah, fabulous.
And,
So is this the first time you've written your own songs?
Yeah, there's a few more songs I've written before that,
Right.
but yeah, this is the really most intense kind of work. That was all music that I wrote.
Did you enjoy that side of it? I mean, some people just live for writing songs or, that side of it. But obviously that was something that was fairly new to you, or?
Yeah, pretty new to me, but I guess I was like, I just knew that I had to do it. And so I found that I was able to do it and that it was funny and people were laughing. And so it was like, okay, this is cool. I'll just keep doing this. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so what was the draw for you to move towards the comedy side of things?
That's really funny because I feel like I've always been drawn to comedy. Even when like I was doing musical theater, I'd always be doing the character stuff and the comedy stuff. And especially those like contemporary music theater songs that are just like these comedy songs that exist on their own and can stand on their own. I was always really drawn to those. And so I just found that, I don't know, I feel like I just found it, and I don't know, like fate, I don't know what it is. Like I just feel like
Well, it's
It was very
obviously
natural.
it's part of you, and
Yeah.
you know you obviously enjoy that side of you to be able
Yeah.
to entertain people and get that feedback off your audience.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and also I did do. I just remembered I did do musical improv, and so that was, I guess, my in with comedy. So I started
yes.
doing musical improv, and then just started doing improv, and then just started doing sketch, and then got a little bit into stand up. So it was still like that musical side was always very strong.
Yes.
And so that was my into that kind of world, because it's really such another world. Like the worlds of music theater and comedy are quite separate, and that really surprised me
Yeah.
at first, and it
Yeah.
still surprises me
Yeah.
how the people don't often intersect.
But you might be the person to bridge the gap there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. I think
exactly.
there's a few of us, and I kind of know like who else is trying to bridge those gaps, and it's really nice.
That's exactly.
So have you done any just straight stand-up stuff, or is
Yeah,
it?
in my show, there's about 10 to 15 minutes worth of stand up,
Oh,
kind of
right.
split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the 9
That's
songs.
really difficult too. I
It is
wouldn't- That's
difficult.
one of the hardest things to do, is to stand up
Oh,
there,
yeah.
be yourself, and tell these funny stories. It's really difficult.
It's difficult, but I find that it really sharpens my writing
Yeah.
because it's very structured, and that's one of the draws for me about comedy. Because I can be a very like overwhelmed and like very cluttered person, but there's something about the structure of comedy that really interests me. It's structure, but also there's like just this weird like timing and magic that
Yes,
kind of comes
yeah.
into
Yes.
some comedy things.
Well, a lot of it too is experience as well, isn't
Oh,
it? With
yeah.
comedy, like being able to do one-liners at people who are heckling and all that sort of nonsense, which comedians are always having to deal with.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's incredibly structured comedy,
Yeah.
and it has to have a huge discipline to it.
Uh-huh.
Have you found that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do feel that with stand up the most,
Yeah.
because it's the most kind of internally driven, of like you're on this train, so when you kind of start your 5-minute set, you just can't get off the train. Like you have to keep up the momentum, because
Yeah.
that's what's going to drive the tension and the laughs and just people's interest. And so you kind of, and sometimes you might forget what's happening next, and then you kind of just have to take it into stride.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. But
Yeah, cool.
yeah.
Really good.
That's great. So what's next for you? Where are you heading?
What is next for me? I'm doing a show for Melbourne Fringe. It's with a few people who I really admire in comedy, and it's a musical. It's an
Oh,
original
great.
musical,
Lovely.
and we're just about to start writing the music for it, and that'll be really fun.
That's
Oh, looking forward to that.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild one. They're all comedy people who also do
Music.
music and who sing really well. So this will be wild.
Yeah, cool.
That's
cool.
exciting. So when's that happening, or will you
That's
just?
going to be in September. I think that's when Fringe is.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
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 Well, look, thank you very much for coming to join us
Oh,
today.
absolutely.
Thank you.
It's been lovely to see you again, and I just hope, well, I know that your success is just going to go up like this.
Oh,
you know,
thank
it's
you.
going to spiral, because
I hope
from
so.
what we've heard, there's been nothing but good said about you. So it's really wonderful to
thank
see.
you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well
Yay.
done.
Thank
well
you.
All
done.
the best.
Cool.
All the best.
Thanks.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today on Coffee and Comfort, and we hope you'll join us next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.